Hello, and welcome to Beauty Juice, a place I have created to share stories, impart knowledge, and offer encouragement on this path of it living a more rich and abundant life. Today, my subject is talking about what I'm most afraid of. And this took me a few days to really sit with and not rush into an answer because, of course, right off the bat, I wanted to think I'm afraid of nothing. But after sitting with this for a while, I came to the real answer that my biggest fear is to go without food. And so before I share with you today a little background on that answer, I just wanted to let you know that I have a very fresh, very exciting offering for you, completely free, and a video part series, 6-part video series to help you get started juicing. Simple and effective ways to incorporate more juices into your life, and in that way you will feel more beautiful, more whole, more abundant, more full, and move from a place of being able to give more and serve more to others. So if that sounds exciting to you, if you want to join me in living a more rich and abundant and vibrant life, please feel free to join me. I will leave the link down below in the comments or in the description. And I'm really excited to see you there and to share with you my heart and my knowledge. So back again to the question of what I'm most afraid of, and it coming to the answer that I'm most afraid of going without food. This really began as a young girl going without food for several days, and being one of 10 children, I would often give food away to my younger siblings because I felt that they needed it more. Of course, we all needed food, but I definitely felt as though I could go longer and I had more of the mental fortitude to go without food and still feel okay. So one story that comes to mind is going to this grocery store. I can't quite remember the name of it, but it was in Fort Worth, Texas, and the food was very, very cheap. I wouldn't even say inexpensive. It was literally cheap, but because it was about to go expired. And so my siblings and I would go with my mother. There was 6 of us at that time. We would, 7 including me. We would go to this place and pick out these flats of strawberries. You couldn't just get one package. You had to get the whole flat. And we would go through and pick out the individual strawberries that were covered in mold so that it wouldn't affect the rest of the strawberries. And on another part of that store, the opposite end, it was the dry goods. And so you could go there and they had these giant, I'm not sure if you've ever seen, but giant, like whitish clear bins, huge square bins that they literally use these in farms to hold feed for horses and cows. And they would be a little scooper, like a shovel type of thing that, again, it is the exact metal scoopers they use in farms to divvy out the feed. And we would go in and scoop it and fill our little bags with different rices and beans that we liked. And when I was younger, I used to enjoy the smells, and the store was so huge. It had really high ceilings and the shelves would go up super tall, but things would be moving in and out quite quickly because the food was going expired. And so we could go and get all these kinds of sweet treats like fancy milks and things like that, because they would be, if not already expired, it would be expired in the next couple days. And so going back and thinking about those times of being so excited to go there, it's sweet how innocent of a child, how innocent the mindset of a child truly is. But it helps me to understand myself better now at 27 years old, why I'm afraid of going without food and my fear around food in general. Another connection with that idea is my mother would leave for long periods of time. And so there was one instance where I was in middle school, actually, and my mother just up and left one day, and I had no idea where she went, and I was really scared to tell anybody because I didn't want to be taken away from her long term and my siblings and go into foster care. And so she left one day, and it ended up being a total of 10 days. And I was about 14 years old at that time, and I had all my younger siblings with me. And I remember going to the refrigerator in the back of the freezer, and we had a giant freezer burn turkey. And I didn't even know what freezer burn was at that time, but it was the only food that was in the fridge. And I remember just putting it in the oven with water in the pan, so I didn't know how to cook or anything, and cooking this turkey. It was so dry and so bad. And so for 10 days, aside from the meals that my siblings and I would have at school, a lot of times we would eat our friends' leftovers and stuff for breakfast and lunch at school, because we knew that either we wouldn't have dinner or the dinner would not be very good. And on weekends, knowing that we probably won't eat at all. And so when I made this turkey, I did my best, at 13, 14 to make it into a bunch of different types of dishes so that my siblings wouldn't be so averse to it when we were eating it. So I put like the turkey on white bread with butter. This dry ass turkey is so funny to think about now, but I ended up heating up some chicken broth at one point and put the turkey in there, and sometimes we would just eat the turkey by itself. And when my mother got home, I was like, where have you been? And that's a whole nother YouTube video, but it was just so interesting that wasn't even something that she really thought about, was to leave money for food or to leave food if you're going to be gone for that amount of time. So all of these experiences really have helped me to understand my relationship with food. And my message here is not to be sad or for anyone to feel, sad about the story, but just to bring it back around to juicing, how much sovereignty and strength that juicing has given me, where I don't have to know how to cook. I can simply just juice watermelon and ingest the nutrients and the vitamins and the energy and the color. And just by juicing one simple ingredient, it doesn't even have to have a bunch of ingredients to it, but just by juicing the one ingredient, feeling so good, feeling so alive, feeling light and clear. And so that is why I share my story today. Is I just want to encourage you to drink more juices, drink more color, drink more vibrancy. And again, my 6-part video series is how to get started on juicing. If you have never juiced before, or maybe if you have gotten into it a little bit, maybe you've juiced in your blender and squeezed it with the cheesecloth, but you want to get a little bit more in depth, gain a little bit more knowledge, that's what I'm here for. And that is why I share my stories. That is why I'm so excited to give as much as I can, access to me and my knowledge and experiences to better serve you. So if any of that sounds interesting or encouraging, please again feel free to link or check my link below. My offering is completely free. I will send it right to your email, and I'm really excited to have the opportunity to share more about me and how I have thrived from this lifestyle. So thank you again for being with me today. I love you, and I'm really excited to share more in my next video. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you again for tuning in to Beauty Juice, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.